Hop on the Chat Nook choo-choo, hop on the Chat Nook choo. On the Chat Nook choo-choo, hop on the Chat. Hop on the Chat Nook choo-choo. Hop on the Chat Nook choo. Hop on the Chat Nook choo-choo, hop on the Chat Nook choo. Hop on the Chat Nook choo-choo, hop on the Chat. Hop on the Chat.
Hello everybody, how are you doing? And thank you for coming to the Chat Nook today. I'm Christine Deaton and I'm really glad that you're here today to talk to me about things. And I have my list of things and I hope that you have your list of things. And remember to like and subscribe to the Chat Nook channel. I really appreciate that. So, welcome everybody to the Chat Nook on this beautiful March day. We thank you guys for tuning in. I haven't been here for a couple of weeks, but I'll explain that in a minute. But today is March 8th, and I have to send a shout out to my sister Jennifer. It is her birthday today. Happy birthday, Jennifer. Happy birthday, and I hope it's going to be a good one. To my cousin Darlene and my cousin Anne Marie. Everybody's got birthdays around this time of year. And then, of course, we want to say God bless my father-in-law, Jim, who's up in heaven, hopefully watching our show, listening to our show, who would have had a birthday today also. So happy birthday to all those beautiful people out there. And to you, if you have a birthday today or in the month of March, happy birthday to you. Okay, so let me update you. The last couple of weeks we have not had a show, and that's because in our family we've been having some really serious things going on. My mom, Fran, who is 86 years old, has been very ill. She was in the hospital for 2 solid weeks. Now, you don't even hear that anymore, that people are in the hospitals for any length of time, let alone 2 whole weeks. You know, usually the insurance companies, they want you in and out regardless of what's wrong with you. But Mom was sick enough to be in the hospital for 2 weeks. We got her home, and within a couple of days, she was still not doing well. Well, a lot going on. Long story short, Mom is now in hospice. And so we've had to do a lot of, like reorganizing the family, and my sister Jennifer, that I just wished happy birthday, has taken on a lot of this, and Mom is living in her house. And so this has become really a full-time job. And for those of you who have ever been caretakers, you know that caring for someone is really a full-time job. So I want to thank my sister for doing what she's doing, and Chris, who is a nurse, my husband, who is a nurse, who has helped so much. And so it's really become kind of like a family affair. But I would like your prayers for my mom, because she could really use them right now. And it's very sad, very heartbreaking to watch. But if there could be something wonderful about this, is Mom is at peace with whatever happens, and she's a believer in heaven and God, so she's not afraid. So for those of you who have been out there kind of watching us, sorry, get emotional, I don't want to do that. We thank you. Which brings me to a case that I have been watching since the beginning. Now, about the time that my mom got sick, you guys all know the story about Nancy Guthrie. I see you guys. Hi out there. Hi, Georgia. Thank you very much. Yes, and please, when you come on, please just say hi to me so I know you're out there. Chris is watching on the other side, and he will tell me who's out there. Elizabeth's watching. Hi, honey. And so tell people, please invite your friends to watch. And tell them that this is a great show when they want to hear what we're talking about. Hello from U-Haul. Hi, U-Haul. My daughter works for U-Haul. All right, and we'll see you later. Okay, so about the time that Mom got sick, which was the end of January 31st to February 1st, Savannah Guthrie, who was the host of the Today Show, her mother Nancy was kidnapped. Now I'm sure I don't have to go through everything that's happened. I'm sure at some point you've heard about this case, and it's just intriguing. Now, why it intrigued me so much was because they had this issue with their mother disappearing at the same time that my mom had become very sick. I understood the tremendous stress of having someone you love so ill, but I can't imagine someone you love being gone, like just disappearing. Now we're going into, it's over a month that Nancy was abducted, and they have no clue where she is, no clue. So you wonder what in the world could have happened to her. And so, I have watched this show, this case very, very, very closely, and it truly has intrigued me. Can you imagine what that family is going through? Because I can't. But I was watching this show, and I want to get the name right. It's called The Murder Book. It's a series on Tubi, and I just happened to be watching this series, and there was a detective that came on, and the detective said something that I found that makes perfect sense. I want to read that to you. He said, in abduction cases, the person who is taken, the victim, is not kept for long periods of time because the risk is far too high for the abductor to keep someone alive for any length of time. Now, doesn't that make perfect sense to you? That why would an abductor take someone and then have them for a long period of time? They're not there to make sure that the person's okay and being taken care of and being fed and everything. So it makes you wonder, my God, what happened to Nancy? And this guy is obviously not sophisticated enough to, I'm sure, take care of her and make sure she had her meds and everything. I mean, they're saying the likelihood basically of her being alive is probably very, very slim to none. And with this detective saying this, I said, gosh, that makes perfect sense. There's no way that he's caring about what's happening with Nancy right now. Yes, sorry, you were going to say something? No. I see Josh out there. Hey, Josh, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. And hey, make sure you guys like and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate that. We've had lots of people. I can't even believe the numbers of people that have been tuning into the podcast. It's so awesome, and I really, really appreciate that. So back to Nancy. So my thing is, I am fascinated by what happened, how it happened. They talk about the guy that abducted her. Did he act on his own? They don't know. They really don't know. Everything, even to this point, they don't know anything. There's no new details. There's no new revelations. There's no new anything. How does one guy who is not sophisticated, who, tried to hide the camera with leaves or foliage he picked up in her garden right there, how in the world does somebody like that outsmart the FBI, the Pima County Sheriff's Department? They brought in, I think, Pinal County. They brought in all these different agencies. How is this possible? This is an unprecedented case. It is mind-blowing. Bottom line is, nobody knows where Nancy is. Nobody knows what happened to Nancy, and God almighty, what a horrible, horrible fate. I know that Savannah recently went back to the Today Show, I guess just for, I don't know if it was just to get out of herself for a minute and go back and just, because I would imagine at some point you just have to kind of start living life. I mean, as hard as that would be, I think you have to start living life. So she went back to the Today Show for like a day. And so I'm just, you wish them well. I mean, Nancy had three children, and how are they all feeling and how are they doing? And so my thoughts and my prayers go out to them, because it's so sad that after all this time, there's absolutely no peace, no resolution, no nothing. So just know, the Guthries, that really the world is watching and hoping and praying for you guys. And let's hope that this case doesn't turn cold, because that would be a horrible thing. I watch all these detective shows and all that stuff. I'm really into these crime shows right now, and it is mind-blowing how someone can be abducted, and you're talking 10, 20 years. They're not resolved. How does this happen? Anyway, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but it really does blow my mind. All right, we're going to move on. Stories of interest, okay? I found this story. I always try to do research on things going on, and I found this story that just, boy, did it irk me. It just irked me. Okay, so it was at a school. It was in 2023, so we're going back, at Langley School District in British Columbia, Canada, okay? An autistic child was not allowed to go on a school trip. Now, you wonder why. First of all, let me say this. I have 3 autistic grandchildren, okay? And I'll tell you what. If they were going to go on a class trip and then they were told that they couldn't because they have autism, or because maybe, they don't act like the other kids act, or, maybe they're unpredictable. Now, I'm not talking about my grandkids, because they're really good kids and they do what they have to do and all that stuff. But I'm saying, if this child that this happened to was my grandchild, I would be up at that school so fast they wouldn't know what hit them. Because I think that unless this child is, really, 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 really on the spectrum, and they just don't have the resources to take a child who is, very much on the spectrum, maybe needs, several paras and whatever, I can kind of understand that. I still don't think it's right. But don't you dare tell me that my grandchild cannot go on a class trip, because you better have a really, really good reason for saying that. So what happened in this case was that the parents of this girl sued the school, and they won. Yay! They won. And so the school had to change the policies. So now that's not a thing. Autistic children can go on school trips, which is great. But the other part of this is that I did more research on this. And I was shocked to find out how many schools around the world feel the same way about, if you have autism, you are not going on a school trip. Is it just me, or are you guys out there listening to this? Do you know a child who has autism that would be perfectly okay on a field trip, that has a diagnosis and they can't go on a field trip? This is absolutely crazy, crazy, crazy. And I hope that there are changes made to this. Like I said, what are you saying? Elizabeth's saying something. If this is the case, if you are excluding autistic children because of whatever your reasons are, maybe you don't have enough paras, and maybe you don't, whatever your reason is, then you need to hire people, you need to do whatever to not exclude these children. I can tell you that my grandchildren are super, super genius kids. they're not dumb in any way, shape, or form. And if you told them that they could not go on a field trip because they had autism, I would hope that they would have a fit just like I would. So I'm hoping that there is no more of this, this prejudice stuff when it comes to kids with autism. Autism, there is a spectrum, and that's why they call it a spectrum now, because there are kids from very mild to very severe. There's your spectrum, okay? And like I said, unless it's something where there's just the child is so far on the spectrum that it would be a huge liability for them first. And then the school, I might be able to say, all right, But to just say that a kid who maybe has some behavioral problems because of autism was not allowed to go, shame on you. And that is something that I will fight for. If I ever read about this again, we're going to talk about it again. If you know a kid that's got autism and they've ever been mistreated in some way, let's fight for these kids. Some of them, they don't have a voice, or they don't know how to use their voice, or whatever it is. We have to fight for them. I'm going to take a drink. You see, my guest star came. Okay, so that's my story about autism. I got a tickle in my throat. Anybody else? I see stuff coming up.
Elizabeth had just commented saying they should have a para that can go with the child. There's funding for that. No child should be left behind.
No child left behind, especially in something like this. Okay. On February, let's see, let me get the date right. On February, I think it was the 17th, a very amazing person passed away. And his name was Jesse Jackson. Now, I read up on Jesse Jackson. He was born October 8th, 1941 in Greenville, South Carolina. And he passed away at age 84, February 17th, 2026 in Chicago. Of course, we all know Jesse Jackson, an American civil rights activist and an ordained Baptist minister. And so he was married for 64 years to the same lady, and they had 6 children. Now, this was an upstanding guy, and I'm thinking, sometimes, because there's so much racial garbage out there, we don't appreciate, not me, because I absolutely appreciate, but people out there don't appreciate what folks of color, of creed, whatever, have done on this planet to make a change. Let me tell you a little tiny bit about Jesse Jackson that I found fascinating. So, he was born, his mother, Helen Burns, was 18 years old when Jesse was born, and he was conceived with the 33-year-old neighbor, married neighbor, and his name was Noah Lewis Robinson. They have a fling. Jesse is born, okay? And then after Jesse was born, his mother married Charles Jackson, who then gave Jesse his surname. But Jesse said, he talks about when he was a child, he was tormented by other children about his out-of-wedlock birth. And so Jesse Jackson said it was out of these experiences that made him tough and motivated him for success. This is what happens when you take adversity and you turn it around and you do something positive. Look what Jesse Jackson became. In 1959, he played minor league baseball. Okay, but then he turned down a contract because he received a scholarship to the University of Illinois. Okay, now this man was a shepherd, a dignitary, a forerunner, a pace setter, a luminary. And yet, I believe that there are people on this planet who do not give somebody like Jesse Jackson the kudos and the respect that that man deserved. He had a wonderful family. He had a wonderful life. And so God bless you, Jesse, for everything you did on this planet. Again, he died February 17th, 2026. And I thought that he needed to be mentioned today. Okay, now, how about this case? It's in Arkansas right now. And I want anybody that's listening out there, I want you to tell me your thoughts on this, because this case is like, what? Okay. His name is Aaron Spencer, okay? October 24th of last year, of 25, okay? Aaron Spencer wakes up to find his 13-year-old daughter not in her room, okay? For whatever reason, instead of, I don't know. I honestly don't know all the details, but I do know that he got in his truck and he starts riding around to find his daughter. And he sees a pickup truck. Now, apparently, the man that has this pickup truck was in trouble in the past for weird sexual things, okay? So I don't know if this guy, Aaron Spencer, like knew this guy's truck, or maybe they were always aware that he was around, and you know, whatever. So he gets this truck to pull over, and guess what? His daughter's inside this guy's truck. Now the guy is a 67-year-old man. His name is Michael Fossler. F-O-S-L-E-R. He's got the girl, 13-year-old girl. So Aaron Spencer and Mr. Fossler get into a big fight. And Aaron kills him. Okay? Now move ahead a little bit. Okay? He gets taken to jail, you know, that he's out on bond and all that stuff. His trial is coming up, actually, next few months, from what I believe, from what I've read. But in the meantime, get this. He's running for the Republican Party sheriff of his community. And I guess that was already in place before all this other stuff happened. He gets 53% of the vote, and now he's the running person for the Republican vote for the sheriff. And the people are like, he didn't do anything wrong. He killed a guy who apparently was a predator, a child predator, who had many, dings on his record. This was not his first rodeo. Now he's dead. Which to me, thank you. We've read another piece of crap on the planet. He's gone. And hello, Jerry James. Thank you for watching, Jerry. Hey, you guys like and subscribe. So now, he's still running for sheriff. Now, if he is found guilty of the charge of killing this guy, this pedophile, he's not able to run for sheriff. And the people in, I think it's Lone Oak County, Arkansas, are up in arms. I'm asking you guys, what do you think about this? Did he do something wrong? The kid is in this guy's truck. The guy's up to no good. Does he have a right to kill this guy? Okay? Does he have a right to run for sheriff? I think yes, all the way. That's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. Interesting story, right? I mean, some of this stuff is just like, mind-blowing. I'll tell you what, this pedophile stuff is rampant. It's rampant. But what's really weird is that in the last couple of years, I don't know how much news you guys watch, or I don't know, but there are so many teachers doing things with young students. And a lot of these people are women teachers now. What the heck is going on? What is going on? You know, why would you ruin your career, your schooling, the money you put into it, your, you know, all of this stuff, families, your own children, for this whatever this new phenomenon is. And it's like really gotten to a point where, man, I don't even know if there's laws that cover this kind of stuff like it should be, because it's just running rampant. You know, I tell my kids, I am so glad that I raised my kids in a day where the world wasn't this insane. Now, I'm not talking about a million years ago. I'm talking 20, 25 years ago when my kids were little and in elementary school. I didn't really have to worry about what parents have to worry about now. It is mind-blowing. And I just thank God that I didn't have to worry about those kinds of things back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And so for the parents out there, man, the bottom line is you protect your kid at any cost. Because, you know, if you don't do it, who's going to do it? Okay, I have a guest coming in today. Now, this guest I've known all my life. And I will tell you, I'm proud to tell you that my brother Jerry Deal is here right now. And he's going to come and we're going to chat a while. Now, Jerry's here from Arizona right now. And he's out because, as I told you about Mom's going through a very rough time. I'm going to sit right here. And Jerry's been out here now. And, you know, like I said, it kind of takes a village. When you're caretakers, it really takes a village. This is my brother Jerry. Hello out there, everybody. Say hi, Jerry. Oh, what do you say? The Nook.
I wore my uniform. I wore my uniform.
You did. You are a supporter of the family business. This is so awesome. Okay, so Jerry, tell them a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to talk about that you are a self-proclaimed conspiracy theorist. Yes?
Yes, and I enjoy it very much.
Well, tell them a little bit about yourself.
All right, so Jerry Deal.
Right.
I'm married. My wife Francie. She actually went back to. She was here for a week to spend time with Mom. Yeah, she went back. Yesterday. So she's back in Arizona. And I'll be going back next Saturday. Francie and I, we just celebrated our 40th anniversary.
Woohoo!
Which was wonderful. And so we have 2 kids. They both live in Mesa now. They after my younger Marie graduated U of A with her bachelor's, she was like, "What am I going to do?" And so Laura says, "Come on, live with us." And so she did. So they live in Mesa.
But you got to talk about all the things Marie did.
Marie did.
Okay. So when she graduated, now, what she did, it was like unbelievable.
Now I don't like to put labels on it, but Marie is slightly on the spectrum.
Okay.
Whatever the slightly. And so it comes out in things like fear of food and fear of certain things, and she's never been like one to go in with the big groups and stuff, and she has very close friends. Well, during U of A, first of all, she went right out of school. We all went to CAC, Central Arizona College. Right. That's what we all did because it was right there. Right. But Marie was like, "No, I want to go to U of A because they have an anthropology, archaeology program." It was like right out of school. Right. It's a bit. U of A is huge, and she goes, "Yep." Well, with both of my daughters, they never wanted to drive, ever. Now, most people, as soon as you got your license, you were going.
You're out, yeah.
Neither one did, and so we were like, well, we're not driving you to U of A every week or every 2 weeks, and so, you know, we were training her and everything, and she especially didn't want to even try at night. Well, it's time to go to U of A, and she's like, "Okay, I'm going." we drove her down, and but she drove her car, and we had ours, and we loaded up for college stuff, and it's night. She's not driven 2 minutes, and there she goes off to college in her car, all by herself. So she went to U of A for 4 years. A couple of years ago, she had the opportunity to spend the summer in Ireland with her, tied to another school, and she spent 7 weeks there. She went a little early, stayed a few days later, and she was by herself in Ireland digging at a 12th century
like
church,
a castle or something,
Yeah.
like that.
Yep. And so she was there, and then when she came back, she finished school, and then she had a job lined up at U of A for the summer at the school. They were going to set her up as a special job, but that's when all school fundings were hit, and everything was just crazy around the country. And so she didn't have anything to do. So now she's living with Laura and Brianna. The three of them have an apartment together, and they love it. So they just left
Last night.
Okay, they should have left during the day. As a parent, you don't want your kids out driving on a freeway at night.
Right.
So they decided it was good. We play a lot of games when we come and visit. Oh, we love playing games at night. Well, they did. Let's get 1 or 2 more games in. They left after everybody else.
They sure did.
And so all night, every couple hours, 2-3 hours, they would text me and say, "We are here. We are here." So right now, they should be hitting the Arizona border. Okay. So the drive has been crazy, been great. They have a good time, and all three and all their luggage is in a Honda Fit.
It's a very little car.
So its back seats, they folded down one and made a sort of makeshift bed, but they're just having a good time. So I'll be going back next Saturday. Well, so that's my girls. And Laura, she works crazy enough. She works collections at a nursing home health provider, rehab place, and she's just doing great. I mean, she just loves it. And she's been there for, I think, a little over a year. And so the girls are doing great. Marie works at IKEA. So if you go to IKEA in Phoenix, right. she does like closets and stuff like that. So she's loving that. So that's my girls. Awesome. That's my family over there. So they're in Arizona. Because when Francie and my wife and I, moved back to Arizona because Dad was getting sick, and Christine calls and says, the job at CAC, the college, is open. You should apply for it. I did. Right. I got the job. And then they left. Because Ashley was in a show.
I was going to say, you know how that is. Your kids go here, you go there. That's the way
Ashley
it goes.
came to Branson, got into a show.
Right.
They followed. Then my mom followed. And Jennifer followed. And so Francie and I are the only ones in Arizona with the girls.
Need to follow.
Well, we do want to follow, but the girls are in Mesa, and
well, then they'll follow.
Hopefully. Well, Marie will hopefully be going back to Ireland to get her master's in the next year or so.
Oh, good for her.
That's the goal. And so that's what we got going.
Okay. So now talk to me about your.
And I work. Mary C.
you
O'Brien
do?
Elementary School, just right outside of Casa Grande. It's a really small public school, 136 kids, and I teach K through 6. I get all the kids. And our school is real small, and I teach in the computer lab. And I teach the kids, even though they're little kids, I teach them all the Microsoft Suite programs, Photoshop, all kinds of crazy things. We're doing a lot of 3D printing now. So
everybody's doing that now.
Everybody's doing
crazy,
it.
Right? It's kind of crazy. All right, so tell me about your conspiracy.
Oh, I love it. So what's interesting is all the conspiracy over the years. It was conspiracy. I enjoy it. I like to read about it, watch it on YouTube or whatever. And so all the stuff that's come out with what's his name? I blocked his name out. Epstein.
Oh, Jeffrey Epstein. Okay.
So I'm not going to talk about that. That's a whole nother 12. That's a series.
That's 10 more podcasts.
Yeah, that's a series. So anyway,
I
with
want to say
him,
hello to Gloria Fitzsimmons for joining us. Hi, Gloria.
Hi, Gloria. So since that comes out and this whole list comes out, all these people around the country, these presidents and executives and all, are fleeing. We got stars in the United States that are heading out. They've already left the country, but they're all going down. A lot of them are going down, and so much stuff is being released now about all of these so-called conspiracies, and it's like, well, maybe there's something to it, you know. Dr. Greer, if anybody ever heard of him, he's a UFO guy. He said when he was years ago, I worked at Area 51 and they're going to come and get me and all of this. So Stephen Greer has been talking about UFOs for decades. Well, now with the military saying, yeah, there's something out there. They have video. Jet pilots took video of ships that are going too fast. Is it, U.S. made? Probably some of it. And some of it, they just go, we don't know. So even in Congress, I've been watching, in Congress, they've been having a lot of UFO stuff, talking about it. And now they're going, hey, Stephen Greer might have a thing. Now, I'm not like a crazy Stephen Greer thing. I just like the different things. Mm-hmm. I actually experienced a UFO kind of a thing several years ago when I was coming home from work. It was a little late. And there's, driving back down into Casa Grande, I look to the right, and there's a series of lights, like 3 lights in sort of a triangle formation. Now, if you know any of the history of Arizona, there's that trio of lights that have been seen. Dad saw them. I saw him. She saw him.
I did see him.
So one day, Dad, he said he's outside, and all of a sudden this triangle ship with no sound went over the house real slow. And he's like, somebody get up. Everybody, wake up.
Right.
Of course we didn't. But he saw it. And so there's something. And now, the government has released that they do have a triangle ship, that it's stealth and all this other stuff, and all this, the propulsion. What I like about conspiracy theories is I like to hear people who are a little nutty, a little crazy, that like to talk about things and you're like, that's not real. And then other people that
and
are...
then you find out later on,
You find out that, oh wait, that was a military ship. Oh wait, the moon is hollow with people and stuff inside, which I don't really believe that one. But
I'm going to skip that one.
Skip that one, but maybe in 10 years they'll go, oh yeah, we did that. But what I like is just to hear what people say. And look, what I'm seeing in Congress with with all the witnesses they're talking about. And these are jet pilots. These are military people that go, here's my footage, make something out of it. And they all say, well, we don't know exactly what it is, but it doesn't fly like planes that they know.
No sounds.
No sounds. Some of them are coming out of the water. And so I just think it's very interesting that, what we were all like, oh, you're a conspiracy. You like to talk about UFOs and stuff. And now they're all talking about it. And so I'm like, see? I told you. I told you. Now,
go ahead. I'm going to bring up our brother Tommy.
I was just going to talk about that.
Okay,
our brother Tommy, who's Mr. Perfect, if you didn't know. Come on. Everything he does is like,
well, he
tough.
strives. Yes, he's always. That's him. He's driven by that.
Yes. So when he
so we're not saying anything bad, right? We're just saying
not in public.
Well, yeah, it's not in public, but I mean, no, he is a perfectionist.
He is,
without
and so
a doubt. Yes.
He was in the military, and he graduated first in the Navy.
Right.
And because he's always like ought to be the number one top guy, so he works his butt off, and he graduated top in the Navy. And they said, Tom, you graduated number 1 in the Navy. You can go anywhere you want. He says, I want to go to the Air Force, because he didn't challenge that one yet. Right. But while he was in the Air Force, it was the whole thing. Don't talk about. There is no Area 51. There is no any of these places, which we all know it's there. It's just a field. It's where they do experimental planes and stuff. It's real. It's not like it's fake. Even to this day, even though military and all of these people are saying, so they were here about a week ago, Tommy and Lisa and a couple of their kids were here a couple weeks ago, and I said, all right, now that it's out, that the military's saying, yes, there's something. He's like, nope, there's no. It's like, Tom, just admit it. Nope, I can't. So he'll take that one to the grave, even though that I know
that it's real.
It's real.
Okay.
Now, when he was in the military, he would volunteer for everything. So one time he had to go to Jordan. Now, he was the editor and stuff, public relations head.
Right.
And so one of the places he was based is in the Air Force base outside of Denver. Now, that Air Force base is not like nobody knows about it. Well, during 9/11, I'll just keep going.
Keep going.
During
I'm
9/11,
going to call Tommy and tell him to get on so he can hear you.
yeah. So during 9/11, when the whole country was shut down, you couldn't use a cell phone, you couldn't make a call, you couldn't do anything.
Right.
His wife Lisa gets a call. Hey, he's in a bunker somewhere in Germany. Hey, this is Tom. We're doing okay. I'm just in a bunker right now. Nobody else in the world can use phones, but he got a direct line to his wife. So that was unusual.
That's true. You're not lying about it.
No, I'm not lying. Now, some of the places that he's visited, like he went to Jordan, and he must have been a great PR guy because the King of Jordan gave him a tie.
Is that true?
I never got a tie. Did you ever get a tie from the King of Jordan?
I didn't get a tie from Lady
So obviously, he's more than just doing interviews. Now, in the United States, all the places that he would have to go to, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, big UFO things that, especially like after Area 51, after I can't remember. The big one, the first UFO thing plane. The first UFO crash.
I don't know.
Oh, it's back in the 50s. Back in the 50s. You know it.
In New Mexico?
Yes.
Oh.
In,
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Get on
Keep going, yeah.
email. So anyway, he
Yes.
was always at these different places that are not your normal mainstream Air Force bases. Now, if you ever been to Denver, that airport, first of all, it's like 1,000,000 miles outside of Denver. It's ridiculous. But one time I showed him, I got Denver Airport on Google Earth, and then I got Roswell. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
And so I got Denver on that, and then I got overhead and Google Earth of this Air Force base, and you can see a track.
Jennifer. Hi, Eileen.
Where they have little ins and outs where you can drive in and out that connect the two. So if you ever really want to look at all the stuff that's going on with Epstein and the kids and all the horrible things that have happened, look at the murals at the Denver airport. They're horrifying.
She said Roswell.
Yeah, thank you. So they are horrifying. They have things of people and kids getting burned and fire and killed. Their big thing statue in the front of the airport, in front of Denver Airport, is this massive blue horse bucking up with big red eyes. Yeah, welcome to Denver. But look at the Denver Airport and the murals. They're horrifying, and like, who in the world would put that? That makes you at ease to get into it. When people go to the airport, they're scared. A lot of them are scared.
I know.
So let's show them pictures of horrible. It's amazing.
Why would they do that? Why would they do that?
Because it's tied to
Why
Moffett
would they
Air
do
Force Base. I don't know why, but it's crazy that that blue horse is frightening, and he's massive. So that's another place
That's another place.
that Tommy has been involved in.
Well, he's been in a lot of, he
Yes.
always says, I have to kill you if I tell you kind of
Yeah.
thing, and he's still that way. But
Yeah.
we do know that he's been in some really crazy places, and as the public relations liaison guy, he was truly in the middle of
So many things.
major things.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted his job.
Oh gosh, no, I don't want his own secrets.
but
I just wish he would, now that the Air
Now
Force
he
is
needs to
saying,
write a book, right?
yeah, now that the Air Force is saying that there are things we don't know, he could say, oh yeah, just even say Area 51 is real. Nope, it's not, Tommy. That train has passed. That Chattanooga choo Nook train has passed. See that train right there? That's passed.
Passed.
And now all the truth has come out.
Michael Moore, who's an author, he writes about a lot of political stuff. He does not like Tommy. And in some of his writing, look it up, guys, Michael Moore, okay, and he's kind of a conspiracy theorist also, and he writes a lot of political books and things like that. In a lot of his writings, he talks about our brother.
He mentions Tommy.
He mentions Tom Deal.
Because Tommy was the,
Yeah.
guy with the Air Force,
Right.
public relations,
Public relations in the Air Force. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can tell you a few things about Tommy, but I won't because I think he's still, secret.
He always thinks he has like a laser thing or something in his eye or something.
He did admit it. He's had some retina scans at some of the bases. That's one thing he did. But other than those things, I just really enjoyed seeing what's out there and listening to the witnesses, the real people, the military, the pilots that are all coming out and saying that these things are there, and I've been saying it for years.
You have been saying it for years. Eileen, this is my brother Jerry, not Mark. That's Jerry. Somebody answered it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what other fabulous thing do you want to talk about? Because the thing is that this conspiracy theory stuff, it just makes you think. It makes you, when things come up and people have, well, it's got to be this, maybe it's this, but I've read and I see a little of this. It makes you think and it makes you wonder. And then what happens is years later you go, see? I knew it.
I've been saying it.
I knew it. And he does that all the time. See?
Oh.
I told you.
Am I going to get mad? Are people going to get mad if I mention 9/11?
No.
Is that okay?
Go ahead.
9/11 was not done by only by terrorists.
Okay, I'm going to do a disclaimer here. This is
for entertainment value purposes.
Right. This is his opinion.
This is me.
His opinion.
Is mine.
So go
and
ahead.
it is mine because there were so many things in 9/11, and actually a lot of stuff is coming out now that were just not kosher. I remember I was living in Ohio, and I went in to teach my lighting class, and I went downstairs and there was a class learning. It was a communication class, and they were watching CNN to see what's what. And so I was like, what's going on? And I went down there, and the first plane had hit, and it was horrible, and everybody's like, oh my God, those poor people. Mm-hmm. And then there we see the second plane, and then we see a little while later the Pentagon, and then Shanksville,
right,
Flight 93.
Pennsylvania,
Yeah, and so I just, again, glued to the TV for days and days.
Yeah,
I mean, I just couldn't stop watching. Me too. Flipping between the different networks, not just one. And it was just horrible. Well, when the planes came down, everybody knew it was an attack. But it was always something weird at the time that I noticed. In New York, you can't get anything done. Everything has to go through. Right? Nothing happens quickly. If you need, if you need the electric company to come and dig a hole in the ground, it's going to take 3 months.
Did you read that?
No.
You wrote that.
And so it's ever takes. But I remember watching, and I remember it was the next day or 2 days, but there was a line of dump trucks and heavy equipment lined up on the streets, ready to go in and clear it out. And I'm like, where did they get all of these trucks in a day or two? And then when they started pulling it away, it wasn't to find victims. They were getting rid of what I find is a crime scene, because they were getting rid of stuff, cutting it up, setting it on barges, and sending it out like as fast as they could. Well, if you ever saw any of the footage, and especially right now, it's big right now. They're talking about 9/11 because, architects and engineers and all that are saying it's not possible to just come down with fire. Nothing steel building in the history of the world has ever come down with fire.
Well,
Never.
Then what made it come down?
What made it come down was controlled demolition. Controlled demolition. Now,
again, his opinion. I don't know about this.
prior to 9/11,
Okay.
there were times where there would be maintenance guys and stuff would go in. Now, if you look at if you look at after the buildings come down, some of the steel beams were cut at a 45-degree angle. Fire doesn't cut things. Some of the steel beams were cut at 45 degrees.
And you don't think they could melt or something like
they
that?
Did melt.
That's what
they
I mean.
did melt. But if you watch the video and listen to the firefighters that were there that day, they heard boom, boom, boom,
right.
boom,
You
boom.
could hear it.
And then it came down.
That.
And then it came down.
Huh.
So that. Also, Building 7. Building 7 was the one that fell down that nothing touched. Nothing touched it. But when Shel Silverstein was being interviewed, he goes, there's been so much loss of life. It's been terrible. And he said, what do you want to do about Building 7? Because it was on fire. A little bit on fire. He said, pull it. Let's just pull it. And then it came down. You can't do anything anywhere in a day or two, especially in New York. They couldn't set up what they needed to set up to do controlled demolition. So that's another thing. Another thing is like I said, I was watching CBS and ABC, CNN, all of them. Mm-hmm. And I was watching the BBC. And the BBC going, oh, terrible things have happened in New York. Oh my gosh, look at this. The bomb. They go, and Building 7, and I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure you guys will tell me. Building 7 has collapsed. But behind them in the video, it's still standing. And they're like, yes, it collapsed, and that building, came down. And then about 2 minutes later, oh, there it goes. That was live. It was still up, and they were saying that it was destroyed. That's not possible. So what I'm saying is, Shel Silverstein, a few years before the attacks, which was horrible and terrible, and we have somebody from Casa Grande that was in the building in the plant. But a few years before, he bought the towers, and they were supposed to be condemned because asbestos from the top to the bottom,
right?
And it was going to cause almost billions of dollars to clear it all out. And so, just before 9/11, with days, weeks before, he insured the buildings in case of attack, and he insured each building separately. So when they came down, the insurance paid him for 2 separate buildings, which was almost enough to build Freedom Tower, which went up very fast. But there's so much stuff about 9/11 that just doesn't make sense. So when I watched, people in Congress or, engineers and stuff saying, just watch the video. You can see the projectiles coming out. And it wasn't the pancake, because that's what I always thought. The pressure pushed it out. No, it's poop. It's crazy. And then one of the planes the second plane that went in, because now they're all watching and you got 1 million cameras on them. The second plane that went in, right before it hits, there's a flash of white that hits the building first. Okay, so that's Twin Towers. Okay. Now, the Pentagon. Where'd the wings hit? It's a hole. It's a hole. There's no wing marks on the Pentagon. Also, every plane crash you see, and unfortunately for the last couple of years, there's been a lot more plane crashes in the world. I don't know why it's going on. There's debris everywhere. Everywhere. Where was the debris? At the Pentagon. Where was the debris? It was none. Now, you go to Flight 93, it's just a hole. where there's no marks for wings. It's just a hole, and it's just all. I just think it was all made up because the president at the time, and I'm not going to call, but they wanted to go to war. They wanted to go to get rid of Saddam. They wanted, and they were looking for a way. So did they know about it was going to happen? Did they help us go to war? I don't know. But I do know
it's not.
I don't know, but I think it's extremely fishy.
That would be like
that. It was strange and too coincidental with Silverstein buying condemned buildings and then insuring them, and he made billions of dollars on it. And it's just terrible. It's just awful.
So we have somebody commenting about your. What is it?
Eileen says Jerry is building 7 theory similar to the media reporting live on peaceful protests when the buildings were burning down.
What do you mean peaceful protests?
I'm not sure exactly what she's referring to there, but I think she's
but the people on the street, it was horrible. When the firefighters got to the floor in the one tower and said, "It's a small fire, we can knock it down," and then it collapsed. If the firefighters are looking at the fire and saying we can knock it down, well, we lost those guys, but men and women, it was just terrible.
Well, I mean, look. Every time, like even today, I'm watching stuff and I come up with my own, like this thing with Nancy Guthrie and everything. I come up with my own things. And you have a right to do that. Again, this was his opinion. This is what he thinks about and stuff like that. And I said, this is a chat, Nick. We can talk about anything. Yeah. But I don't know if this was not just the Middle East attacking us. What? Just because we wanted to start a war to get rid of Saddam Hussein and all that stuff? Is that what your theory is?
My theory is that they were going to hit the Twin Towers bigger than they did in '93 because it didn't work. It didn't take them down.
Right.
So it needed to be hit bigger. I just think that there was some people in our country that knew it was going to happen. And
Well, I think they did. I think that there were, because if you ask Tommy, I think in his own way, he said, yes, we knew this was coming. Right. There was no, we're not military. We're just going about our business every day. But they knew something massive
But even after the Twin Towers got hit, the jets weren't scrambled. They were sent on a practice run to the west at the same time. It's like they cleared the air for it's just too many things, and like I said, I can go on for a month, but I'm not going to.
Well, he will because this is what's going to happen. I told him, I said, you need to have your own podcast where you can literally just get on there and talk about these kinds of things, because I'm telling there's going to be tons of people that agree with what you're saying, and others that are like, this guy's crazy.
Well, my hope is that now that I've said these things, go do your own research.
Go do your research. Sure.
Go do your own.
And
don't take it by
disagree
me.
Or whatever.
Don't take it by me, because that's just I like to do. Like I said, I enjoy conspiracy theories, but look up those things that I mentioned, and you're going to go, "Oh, that's not real," or you're going to go, "Hey, now this is what's going on here." So
Eileen was talking about. She said in Minnesota when they were having the protests, all the reporters were saying, these peaceful protests were going on while buildings were being burned down and the stores were being looted, and the obvious discrepancy from what was being reported to what the reality was.
That's true. With all of this being said, whether you agree or disagree, there was a statement that I saw, because I'm always doing research and looking things up, and Abraham Lincoln said in his first, one of his first speeches, he said, "We're not enemies, we're opponents." And I love that, because that just says, we're just maybe opposing each other's views, but nobody should be enemies. You know what I mean? We should just be able to discuss things. Whether we agree or not, we're just opponents. I don't know how you feel about that, but I love that. And you go, Abraham Lincoln.
No, I think
he also
he's a very smart man.
He also said that as Americans, if our country were to be destroyed, we ourselves would be the author and the finisher of that destruction.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
It,
And, you know,
would not come from abroad.
Right.
And right now, with
true.
coming to the midterms,
That's true.
now they're bringing up other stuff that's like, why are you distracting? Because it's election time. And you know when it's election time, they bring out anything and everything to distract.
Sometimes during election times, I wish they could just focus on the things that need to be focused on, what's good for the country, and not all this mudslinging and who cares? I don't care if you like me and I like you, and I don't care. What are you going to do for the country? And that's what I think in the future, whoever is running for president, vice president, whoever you are, just get in there and talk about what's wrong with the country and how you're going to fix it, and leave it at that.
Yep.
Whether you like your opponent, again, or not, it doesn't matter. It's not a personal thing. And I think that somewhere along the line, the government, and maybe governments, maybe not just the U.S. government, maybe governments in general, even local, state, have forgotten that this isn't a personal thing. This is about your state, your city, your country, whatever it is. And somewhere along the line, it's gotten lost.
And we need to get rid of the electoral college, and we need to have term limits for these old white guys that are in office that we're like, okay, you're done.
That's
You're
true.
done.
I always say there is a season, turn, and we've got to, move on.
It's time to turn.
Hey, Raydell, how
I'm
are you, dear?
Raydell's on. Well, my personal beef with election season is a little more superficial, but I get sick of television ads and all your stupid signs littering my sides of the road.
Yeah.
Get them out of here. I don't want to see them.
He hates
It
that.
just drives me crazy.
Well, okay, bro. So, anything else you want to throw out there before I have a couple more little things here, and then we're gonna call it.
No, it's great.
Day.
Everybody, now that the Nook,
our restaurant,
the restaurant
my sister's restaurant
is closed,
The Brunch Nook.
which I was not happy about. I love that restaurant, but
Me too.
the Brunch Nook is amazing.
It is.
I've eaten
It's
there
a
a few
food truck,
times.
guys.
I've eaten there a few times this last week, and you can't finish what they make. I had the big.
It's the best. We're 5 stars still.
Yeah, I had a big sandwich that I could only eat half of it, and then I had a big pita loaded with ham and turkey bacon and lettuce because I don't like cheese. But the food is just amazing. And
Georgia, a friend of ours, hi Georgia, is saying she's loving you, Jerry.
oh, thank you. but the Brunch Nook is just amazing. And so you couldn't really see it when you pulled up. So
I heard you figured that out.
At Bingo on Monday, which I'll be cooking at Bingo this week.
Are you?
Yeah, I'll be doing the grill.
All right. Good.
I said to Alicia, do you have the hitch to the trailer? She goes, yeah. I said, okay, I'm gonna move the.
Oh my!
So
God.
I turned the whole thing, re-leveled it. You can see it right from the street. So a big yellow egg, and that food, and it's not just breakfast.
No, it's breakfast.
Because I'm not a big fan of breakfast. Don't ever wake me up for breakfast. Ever.
I'm the same way.
Do never
I'm not an
ever
eight
wake
person
me
in
up
the
to eat in the morning. Never. But that food, the lunch, it's just it's
congratulations,
amazing.
girl. Gonna have her 6th grandbaby in September. Good for you. Congratulations, Raydell. I miss you guys.
See, that's not conspiracy.
That
baby's
conspiracy.
really coming.
That baby's really coming. Well, good job.
Thank you.
And I
That
still
was
think
fun.
that you need to start your podcast.
I've thought about it.
Just do it. What you're
How to
doing,
do it.
exactly what you're doing. Okay, and so today, by the way, guys, is daylight savings time. It started today, I guess, midnight. I guess that's when it started. And I was wondering, what the heck is daylight savings? I mean, we know what it is and what you have to do, but we lived in Arizona for 44 years. In Arizona, you don't change the time. We stay the same. And I thought, are we the only state in the union? Well, no, Hawaii and Arizona, the only 2, and then you've got like Puerto Rico, the outer lying United States properties, but they don't do it, and I want to tell you why, because I found it all very interesting. Daylight savings time was primarily implemented to conserve energy during wartime. That was first adopted in Germany in 1916. But Benjamin Franklin, guys, was the first one who proposed this theory in 1785. William Willett, who was a builder in 1905, spearheaded the idea and said, no, we need to do this. And so he went before Congress, and Congress passed the Standard Time Act of 1918. And then later on, in 1966, they kind of reformed it, and it was called the Uniform Time Act. So Arizona and Hawaii opted out, and I'll tell you why in a sec. But in Arizona, even though they don't do the time change, the Navajo Nation, the Navajo Nation does follow. They're the only part of the state that actually follows daylight savings time. Mm-hmm. Whereas the other tribes do not. The Hopi and the Hopi and the Navajo Nation are right at the northern part of the state, and the Navajos do daylight savings, and the Hopis don't. And there was one more thing I was going to tell you about. Maybe I won't find it now, but about the daylight savings time, which I thought was very interesting. So we have to move the clock back 1 hour. So right now it's 3 o'clock, where yesterday it was 2. Right? You got to move it forward. You got to move it forward an hour, because that really messes me up. Just in case anybody cares, that this daylight savings, and I guess living in Arizona for all those years, and we didn't have to. You didn't have to think about it. You didn't have to worry about it. But there was, so Arizona in 1968 decided against the time change to avoid having to use air conditioning during extra hours of evening daylight. And then Hawaii didn't do it because of the proximity to the equator, and there's very little variation of sunlight during, in Hawaii. So it didn't really make any sense to Hawaii. So I thought that was really, really interesting. So there you go.
I always thought it was, I don't know why, but it was because the farmers had more daylight or something like that.
It really, that's when Ben Franklin was.
That was his proposition.
In 1785, it was because of things like that.
His almanac.
And it was so that they wouldn't burn candles as much, and stuff like that. I mean, it's true, but Benjamin Franklin, the guy was a genius.
Absolutely genius.
The guy was a genius. Okay, so that's our show for today. Hey, remember that I have my Cooking Nook, which started all of this stuff. You can watch all of my videos on my Cooking Nook. I actually started the channel in 2020 during COVID, when COVID started and everybody was stuck at home. I decided to do an in-home cooking show, and it kind of took off. And 3 cookbooks later, and 2 restaurants later, and a food truck. It's been an amazing journey. And then because of my illnesses, I haven't been able to really cook or anything now. So I said, but I sure can talk. So I said, I'm going to do the next best thing. And, I was telling you yesterday, I think, that I was doing a podcast before podcasts were a thing. With Audie Morrow. And when he approached me and said, hey, do you want to do this thing and blah blah blah, I said, what do you mean, you just sit and talk? And he said, yeah, you just sit and talk. And I said, okay. So back in like 2005 or something, we were doing a podcast, which was totally new. I don't think anybody even knew what that was back then. About 2014 is when podcasts really took off, and like everybody's doing podcasts now. Jump on the bandwagon. The Chat Nook choo, you know what I'm saying? And so watch my cooking shows, and we've got holidays coming up, Easter's coming up and stuff. So, and then you got, 4th of July, we've got all these things coming up, and I have great recipes for all of these holidays and things coming up. And that is my Cooking Nook, and look at the videos on YouTube, and there's over 80 videos. So check those out and like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to Chat Nook also. And guys and girls, please pray for my mom, because she's really, really having a tough time, and we love our mom very much, and she could sure use your prayers. So, anything else, guys?
Happy birthday, Jennifer!
Happy birthday, Jennifer!
Happy birthday, Jennifer!
Hey, you guys! Thanks for joining us on the Chat Nook today, March 8th, 2026. We love you guys. We've had tons of you tuning in, and we really appreciate that. Tell your friends about us. We're here on Sundays at 2 p.m. Central Time. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hop on the Chat Nook choo-choo, hop on the Chat Nook choo. On the Chat Nook choo-choo, hop on the Chat. Hop on the Chat Nook choo-choo, hop on the Chat Nook choo. On the Chat Nook choo-choo, hop on the Chat. Hop on the Chat Nook choo-choo. Hop on the Chat Nook choo. Hop on the Chat Nook choo-choo. Hop on the Chat Nook choo. Hop on the Chat Nook choo-choo. Hop on the Chat. Hop on the Chat.